This story is brought to you by Blue Dot Research, Data, Insights.
All right, so last time we heard from this young lady, she had us in stitches. Believe me, she's a multifaceted businesswoman, but trust me, she can tell a story. So right now, let's take a listen to Sara Stanford.
Hi, I'm Sara Stanford, Master Storyteller and CEO of Bliss Bridal Boutique. I guess if you want to call me a Master Storyteller, the first time I recognized that was the first time I did Long Story Short. Because you guys reached out to me on Instagram and I said, why do you guys want me to tell a story? But okay, I'll find a story. And I thought about it and I remembered this incident and I put it together and I practiced it a little bit, I'm not going to lie. And when I got up on the Long Story Short stage and started telling it, and people were laughing and responding, and I was like, wait a minute, my story is actually good and people really enjoyed it. So I think that was definitely the first time that I recognized that I was a master storyteller.
And oh, so gently leans over to me, and oh, so politely, softly whispers in my ear and says, Sara, your skirt split up all the way to your body. That is my...
Long story short, one of my favorite things is the fact that the people that are telling stories, the majority of them are not professional speakers. They're just the average people in different genres of life just telling stories. Some of them are motivational, some of them are funny, some of them are business oriented, and it's just nice to have a community where you can sit down, relax in a very nice social environment and just listen to other people's stories, because I think sometimes we don't recognize how similar we are more than we are different. I think the message would be thank you. Thank you for creating a platform where, like I said before, we can come together and tell our stories and really come together as a community to see that we're more alike than we are different. And just keep up the good work. So, long story short, this whole global pandemic that we have now affectionately come to know as COVID-19 has turned me into what I consider the true Jamaican. Because since this whole thing started, I swear I have like 5 different jobs, right? The first one is, as you all know, I'm the owner of Bliss Bridal Boutique and I rent and sell wedding dresses. But since COVID, I've become a juggler. I have become a motivational speaker, a professional cook, and an author. So the juggling part, I know it sounds strange, but every morning when I sit down and get ready to have my coffee and I look on my phone and I open my bank account, all I'm doing is trying to figure out how to juggle the little money that I have in my bank account to see who I can pay this week and who have to wait till next month, right? Because like I said, I own a bridal store. So when bro got locked down the country, what happened to me? My business took a nose dive. In the first week, I think, I had no less than about 65 weddings either cancel or postpone. And those were weddings that were only happening in March, April, and some in May. That didn't include the weddings that I had booked for the rest of the year, because, we didn't think it was gonna last this long, but now everything is continuing to being postponed and canceled. So I have to juggle everything. So separate apart from juggling, I become a motivational speaker. Now, I'm only an audience of one, which is me, right? But every morning after I look at my bank account, I have to figure out in my mind, okay, Sara, think about it. This is bad, but it's not that bad. You've been through worse and you got through it. So guess what? You will go through this and you will come out on the other side. Yeah, and I have to tell myself that every day just to keep myself going and not get bogged down. Because other than that, I'd be sitting down binge watching How to Get Away with Murder on Netflix and Ozark and not really being productive at all. So that was job number 2. So now we're on job number 3. I said professional cook, but no one's paying me. So I guess I can't use the title of professional. But I have a question for you. Have you ever tried chicken soup with pigtail? Don't worry, I'll wait. Or stewed chicken and pigtail. I'm here to tell you that you can put pigtail in anything. The only thing you probably can't put pigtail in is curry goat. Trust me, I've done the research. Don't try it. But other than that, you're good. Right? I mean, I even woke up one morning at about 5 o'clock and baked banana bread. I've never baked banana bread a day in my life, right? So there's juggling, there's motivational, there's all the cooking. And then after I think maybe the first couple of weeks, I sat down and I said to myself, self, you have to figure out something. So I took some time and thought to myself, Sara, what do you know? What do you know for sure that you would be able to monetize? And I said, well, I know wedding dresses. Nobody can critique that. I know women and I know weddings. So I decided I was going to write a book. I got my laptop, I sat at my dining room table, and for 3 days straight I didn't get up. And at the end I had a book. It was an ebook, 75 pages, and it's called The Jamaican Bride's Ultimate Guide to Wedding Planning. So when I was done with that, I said, okay, well, I need to find somewhere to sell it. So I said, babe, my husband Brian, I said, I need a website. He said, no problem. So he built me a website. And then I said, well, I can't just sell one book on a website. I have to do more. So then I created an online service called Yoba, Your Online Bridal Assistant, to help all these brides figure out what to do next in planning their weddings that we know was going to be impacted by COVID. And then I also added my styling services. So I took this COVID-19, this pandemic, as an opportunity to try and do something more with what I know. And so what I'd say to everyone who might be wondering or thinking about it is take some time to yourself. Go into a quiet space and think about, what do I know? What do I know better than anybody else? What do I know that everybody else doesn't know? Or what do I know that not only do I know better, but that I can execute better than anybody else? When you figure that out, then you will start on the path to dig yourself out of what is happening now. So that I leave you with this, just think about what you know and monetize it.
One of the best things about Long Story Short is its commitment to sharing some of Jamaica's best-kept musical secrets. Let's take a look at some of its best performances of the past year.
Oh, my, I'm feeling high. My money's gone. I'm all alone. So I do away. The world keeps turning. Oh, what a day. What a day, what a day. Peace and blessings manifest with every lesson learned. If your knowledge were your wealth, then it would be well earned. If we were made in His image, then call us by our names. Most intellects do not believe in God, but they fear us just the same. Oh, on and on and on and on. My cypher keeps moving like a rolling stone. On and on and on and on. All night till the break of dawn. Ooh, on and on and on and on. My cypher keeps moving like a rolling stone. On and on and on and on. Fresh and clean, fresh and clean. Fresh and clean, fresh and clean. See me when me step on the scene, that be fresh. You so blessed and free. I'm a rebel when I step on the scene. Oh, I'm so fresh and clean from my open my eyes. Give thanks to the Most High. Give thanks, giving thanks for life. No stressing on my sight. So when them come around, them can't hold you down. Them can't kill you with no attack. Whoa, try your best in my life, no stress. It's a whole of ironies. You got to be a rebel, keep your mind right, meditate for good measure. Read the Psalms and days to chase away the devil. Keep your heart clean so your days can be better. You got to be a rebel, yeah, you have to live on a rebel. Oh, you got to be a go-getter if you really want to take it to another level. Oh, what? We're fresh and clean, fresh and clean. Grab not terrace, we're fresh and clean, fresh and clean. See me when I step on the scene. Oh, I'm so blessed and free. I'm a rebel
full of confidence. Big dreams of money for you, me plans for them. Yeah man, go for the cheddar. Confident, confident, confident. Thank Jack me there, thank you Jack. You wait a boy and give them donkey lens. Confident, confident, confident. Oh, so
Said if we never get a chance to be together, go with that. Tanya love you. Woman said it is a pity you already have a wife. I made another man in my life. Road boy, it is a pity. It is such a pity you already have a wife. I'm me up for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 man in my life. I would like one of these mornings to wake up and find your face on a pile of light.
This story is brought to you by Finance Hub Jamaica. We connect you with the right people.
This next storyteller, the last time we saw him, thought-provoking comes to mind, to say the least. Now, this is a gentleman whose father was a drug dealer. His mother was a drug addict. He himself incarcerated for 5 years. Saying that alone, tell him I have stories for days, right? We definitely can't wait to hear from him now. Now, this is a gentleman who also gained a little popularity when it came on to, Drake's Netflix-produced Top Boy. Y'all know, you know what I'm talking about. So, actor, poet, rapper, let me tell you something. Let's just get right to Scantana.
Yo, it's your boy Scantana, the man with the most grammar, master storyteller. Well, it was 2007, I entered the Tasty Talent Trail, and Amina Blackwood Meeks, who is a master storyteller, she was one of the judges. And I actually didn't place, but Amina decided that I needed to go to school because my storytelling ability was masterful. You know, it's funny that you asked that because I stumbled upon Long Story Short. And just upon watching a few of the other episodes and seeing the tellers, I was realizing that it was a space built for creatives as well as non-creatives, because everyone has a story. You get what I say? So when you can listen to someone who is not an entertainer tell you an engaging story that's captivating, it's a wonderful space to go and network and meet people and just be inspired by other people's lives. Well, my message to Long Story Short will be the same message that I give to every up-and-coming person that's trying. It takes 10 years to become an overnight success. So if you quit in your 9th year, you'll never make it. And I see Long Story Short going somewhere. You just have to keep reinventing the event. There's many ways to tell stories. So if you can tap into these people that want to share their stories and keep finding creative ways to assist them to tell, Long Story Short will be here for a long time.
I grew up in a home that was reared by a drug dealer father and a drug addict mother. So me was like the little savage in between, where me that one night me should be an addict or me for be a seller. You get what I say? Like, no, it real. You might laugh and think it's a joke, but it real.
Long story short, Corona. It's been such a bittersweet situation. I know that some of us has been experiencing this Corona and quarantine thing, and we lose with jobs and we lose family members and things like that, but it has been bittersweet for some of us. Because my story in this Corona is, I remember when I was 17 years old and I was with this girl by the name of Rashandia Jeffers, amazing young lady. She's just a year younger than me. And at the last Long Story Short, I don't know if some of my viewers remember, I told you about getting incarcerated. So before I got incarcerated, it was this young lady's house that the officers went to her house with pictures of me to ask her and her parents, did they know me? And believe it or not, her parents wouldn't have recognized me in the photo, but she knew her man. She knew her man. So when she saw the picture, it was like, but to take everything in her face, kind of keep that straight face there, and then kind of, you know, squint and look at the picture and say, no, I never saw this person before in my life. And what she told me after the fact was that that night she went back to her room and bawl out her item, like bawl out her item to swell. So she called me and she said, Scantana, if you did something, would you tell me about it? And I was like, yeah, but for some reason, they kind of know what she did call me about. And she said, were you involved with a robbery or something like that? And I said, no. She said, well, the police, them come to my house with pictures of you. I said, you sure say me? And she said, yeah, I know you. I said, no, maybe it was my brother or something. Them time my heart a beat fast, me I tell you. Anyway, long story short, me not get locked up, it was me. And me I write her. Me I write her, she not write me back. Me I write her, she not write me back. Me I write her, she not write me back till me get frustrated. Me end up upstate now, serving time, and me realize say me lose this girl. Mind you, you know, the love of my life, you know. Boom, me do my 5 years, me get deported. Do what me I do up and down in Jamaica with this person, with that person. And Corona happens. So me in a Corona now one night, I'm there woman, you know, Black Lives Matter just go viral. So me I get the interviews from here, on stage interview, I got the morning time interview, you know, long story short, call me like Scantana, we need you. So I'm like, all right, things is happening for me, I'm feeling good. One night I go on my bed and I wake up, mind you, you know, I'm searching for this girl from the time me leave to present date, because I'm punching her name, Rushundia, but I'm spelling the name wrong. Her name is Rushundia, R-O-S-H-U-N-D-I-A. I'm spelling it Rushundia, R-U-S-H-A-N-D-I-A. So I'm not finding her nowhere on social media. Boom, I kinda write it off. One night I wake up, check my phone as usual, I see a message. You know, you get the request. I say, which request this now? Go on my phone. Where's my phone then? Take out my phone, I say. Hello, I am so proud of you, Magabi. I just want to tell you that, you know, you make me so proud. I don't know if you remember me. This is Rushundia. Nearly dropped the phone. You had me really dropped the phone, but you know, something like that. And it was a shock because I'm like, this is 22 years later. This girl when me I look for, come find me and just slide in my DM like say. You know, I'm bugging. So I'm like, of course I remember you text her back excited, yo, watch this on my number. And she I go call me pan voice call. You know what I do, right? Hang up and then call her pan video call. Y'all might think it's a joke, so I'm just showing you that. It's real, it's really real. So she called me pan voice call. I'm hang up the call. I'm call her upon video call. Like, I have to see you. I couldn't listen to your voice alone. And she don't even know that I was really gonna call her for the show. So I'm gonna turn her to the camera right now. This is her. This is her. Say hi to Long Story Short, baby. Say hi to Long Story Short. I just told them that after 22 years, you found me. And we're back together. And she's gonna be sharing my last name, y'all. Let me come a little bit closer to the camera. This is her, everybody.
Hello.
This is my baby, Rushundia Jeffers, soon to be a Lawrence. I love you, baby, you heard? So we letting them know that Corona wasn't always a bad thing for everybody. It was a little bittersweet. I love you, you heard? Later. So long story short, after 22 years of walking out of this girl's life to go serve time for foolishness as a youth, she walked right back into my life to come claim the love of her life. Thank you, Corona.